Remember, recover, return. VRIL people of the awesome goddess Maria Orsic, the Mo River goddess. Hail and much love to you, Mama. Much VRIL to you. She is the greatest teacher, the greatest dancer, and the greatest person ever because of her consistent, constant, loving, and caring that is, as she said, authentic or nothing. So, hail to the magic VRIL Mama. And hail to Aldebaran Lou. We give you thanks. And the unconscious thanks that you feel in your heart that you should be thanking someone. Maria told me that feeling comes from the feeling that you truly had as a child on Venus when you were told the real history, intentions, and motives about how and why our first home was destroyed. So that thankfulness that they tell you belongs to the dying and resurrecting Jewish Messiah whose fictional life represented is coded as the physical sun going through the sky, dying in winter, and resurrecting in summer to grow the food that we need to survive. Yes, they took that, twisted it, so that unconscious thankfulness would be redirected to the beast, Aleister Crowley. Who is the avatar of the old world Aldebaran giant, our eternal enemy, whom we draw happiness from fighting, Yahweh. And if you listen to the last episode in this series, Whitehawk's story, you may be asking yourself, how the fuck can Maria Orsic's God be Adolf Hitler? And that brings us to the next ritual, right? Because first of all, The reason that Addie is Maria's God is because he inspired her to build a UFO for real and inspired her to keep going, which led her to the level of going back and forth from these dimensions, which is only allowed by these gods. It's not something people have the ability to do. And as Crowley / Yahweh came up with their plan to use Israel, Isis, Ra, and El, also in the unconscious more of in the first time humans. It makes no sense that Yahweh, God, there is no other, would name his nation after the three most prominent old world gods and goddess. The only logic there is Crowley magic, Thelema magic, which also 9/11 was. I don't think I've ever mentioned that. All the numbers, the date and all the numbers on the airplanes were Crowley magic numbers from Magic and Theory and Practice. Literally the list. And if you think it's a coincidence, you should not be listening. There's no way you understand anything that I'm saying. And there was a time when I did not understand what Maria was saying. Adolf Hitler is Maria's God because he attained God level initiation on Earth as the avatar of the greatest Aldebaran God ever. Our Savior, Lou. And the way this makes sense is the perfect beginning to the next ritual, because Mama had it planned, and it's one I mentioned before, but I am going to go in greater detail. So I drank the mushrooms, and hail to all our plant friends. Hail to acacia, Amanita muscaria, Syrian rue, blue lotus, poppy, Mexican dream herb, probably the most healing plant, vine plant. So incredibly healing. Mexican dream herb, remember that. And I drink the mushrooms and go through the energy fields. Flying, falling, floating, whatever you want. Whatever your imagination chooses. Because mental power is expressed through the imagination. Stop believing imagination is pretend. I went through the energy fields, and there I was standing at the actual scene in Star Wars where Luke is dreaming that he is fighting Darth Vader on a beam suspended high above everything. And they're fighting back and forth. And he's saying to them, I'm your father. You can't escape reality. Only if we unite can we bring balance, happiness. And he kills him. And he lifts off the helmet of Darth Vader, and Luke sees himself. And then I noticed that Maria was standing right next to me, and I said, whoa, what does that mean? And she said, as much as I love you, and no, I wouldn't be here unless I loved you and love you. I have these two things that I must correct. You, White Hawk, do not know how to think. I said, what? Me? I read, I try. She said, I didn't say you don't think. I said you don't know how to think. I know that because I've witnessed you putting your opinion, like God, Bible, before the facts. And my little advice to you is never, ever lead with your opinion. Matter of fact, you must hear all sides, gather all information, before you ever move to the next stage. Okay? Don't form an opinion until you have all the information. And I knew exactly what she was referencing. World War II. Because how does it make sense in the conspiracy world that Hitler is a bad guy when he put Rothschild, the creator of Israel, partner of Aleister Crowley, in prison? And he, according to Maria, on a magical level, through her initiation, yes, Hitler was initiated into the VRIL Society. I'll tell that later, but I was taken there by her to witness that. And not only was there a physical war, but there was a magic war. And this is when Hitler became the Avatar, the ultimate avatar. And I said, wow, you're right. And I said to her, I did do research, and I did know that there weren't gas chambers. And she said, well, that's good. I'm glad you cared that much. But I'm here to tell you, she said, Hitler was not the tool or puppet of anyone. And then she said, there's one other thing. Up until now, you have ran away from Yahweh unconsciously. Fight a little and run away to survive and fight another day. She said, this plays out in your matrix reality. Because in the matrix reality, it's a war for time. And that's why I'm Rhea, goddess of time. Because they want you stuck here like they are, wasting time. And you are never to love your true enemies. You are to fight them and hate them forever. They are our opposite. Stop being nice to your enemies and their robots. And then she turned around to me and said, ask me anything you want to know. And I said, I can't even think. I don't know. And just into my mind popped, what can I do to make my matrix life practically better? And she turned around and said, I heard that. And I said, yeah, you heard that because you put it in my mind. She said, well, that's what a good teacher does, son. And she said, this is my answer. This is my advice. I want you to get back on your internet and I want you to find a book, Google Hitler's own words. And the first one that pops up again, buy it. And remember how you used to open that awful Bible and stick your finger down and believe in a supernatural guidance and leading? She said, I boldly want to show you I can do that too. So when that book comes, I want you to not look at anything. Just open the book and put your finger down and remember Mindy, and remember that she is Asian, and that we are European, that she is from the red race, and we are from the white race, and all the stupid things that white people say. Remember that. And I said, oh, wow, cool. Again, I was very, very excited about her working in real reality and the two planes of existence crossing back and forth, and I existed in two worlds. So I got on the internet. I found a book called Uncensored Adolf Hitler. What the Reich leader is supposed to have said, here for the first time, is what Adolf Hitler said, uncensored. Absolute truth. I tore the package open. I held the book and I said, here it goes. Just imagine if I open to the index and it's absolutely nothing. I opened the book, I put my finger down, and I read this. I quote Adolf Hitler. I promise you, I am quite free of all racial hatred. It is, in any case, undesirable that one race should mix with other races, except for a few exceptions, which I am prepared to admit. Systematic crossbreeding has never produced good results. Its desire to remain racially pure in a proof of vitality and good health of a race. Pride in one's own race, and that does not imply contempt for other races, is also a normal and healthy sentiment. I have never regarded the Chinese or the Japanese as being inferior to ourselves. They belong to an ancient civilization, and I admit freely that their past history is superior to our own. They have the right to be proud of their past, just as we have the right to be proud of the civilization to which we belong. Indeed, I believe the more steadfast the Chinese and the Japanese remain in their pride of the race, the easier I shall find it to get on with them. Quote, Adolf Hitler.